Shalom, shalom. It's the brother Kazawan.
It's your brother YAHAWAH. It's like brother Wiz.
And be back with another video, man. This video is going into being a doer of the word, man. Not being a worker of iniquity. So when the day of the Lord come, he don't turn you away. Right? But we're gonna give all honor, glory, and praise to YAHAWAH. Right? The strong shalom, the brothers and sisters out there doing the work and pushing and magnifying the name of the Lord in these last days. Right? We're gonna hop straight into it. Right? It's the book of Matthew, chapter 7, and verse number 21. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up. So, yeah. Okay, this is Matthew chapter 7 and verse number 21. It says, "Not every one that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven." Right? And a lot of people, they bring this verse out and they talk about Christians. They talk about Muslims. They talk about these people in false doctrines. Right? This is actually talking about Israelites. Right? Because the name of YAHAWAH. Right? You call upon the name of the Lord. Right? And he said, "Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father." Because some people in the truth, they might be in the truth, but they might not be doing the will of the Most High. They might be trying to do their own thing. They might be in this thing for vainglory. It might not be sincere. It might be just damn all kinds of wicked and evil behind closed doors. They might not be doing the will of the Most High. So the Lord said, hey, they won't enter into the kingdom of heaven. Right? Brothers got precepts.
Got
precepts?
Yeah, I got one precept. I'm a precept. Luke. This book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 45. Good man out of the good of his heart forth that which is good, and an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is evil. And like the brother was saying, verse 21, that goes into Israelites that know the Most High. And if you out here just, for vainglory, not being sincere, the Most High knows what type of fruit you're bearing. The Most High knows what you're doing behind closed doors. So even a man, man may not see what you're doing, but the Most High does, right?
Right. Yeah, like you said, the Most High see everything that we're doing, right? Whether you're in the truth or whether you're not, the Lord is watching it all times, right? Let's go to the book of Jeremiah real quick, chapter 23. Right, because people talk about this and they be like, "Hey, that's talking about Christians. That's talking about Christian pastors." Right. This is Jeremiah 23:1. It says, "Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture." Right. That's just a teacher. Right. It's a teacher. That's somebody. They might teach their family. They might teach on the highways and byways. They help. They're supposed to be helping lead the sheep. Right? They're supposed to be a light. Right. They destroying and scattering the sheep. Right, with their works, with the evil doings, right? It says, "Therefore, thus saith the Lord God of Israel against the pastors that feed my people," right? Because we're supposed to be feeding we're supposed to be feeding the people with the word of God. "Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you evil of your doing, saith the Lord." Right? We might be scattering the sheep away by offending them, by breaking something down wrong to them, right? By being rude to them, right? Being some kind of just being a damn lion to them. Right? You might be driving them away and offending them from the word of the Most High, which we're not supposed to be doing. Right? They might see you going off, being a hypocrite, and it might offend them. It might scatter them. They might go driven away and get into another doctrine. They might feel like Christianity is the place for them. They might feel like Islam is the way, spirituality, or they may be like, you know what, I don't need the Bible. I don't need nothing except for me, myself, and I. And the Lord said, I'm gonna visit you upon the evil of your doings. Meaning the Lord gonna get up with a man like that. The Lord is gonna cast a man like that into outer darkness. The Lord is gonna kill a man like that because he's not doing the will of the Most High God. It says, and I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries, will have driven them and bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. And I will set shepherds over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, saith the Lord. And the Lord, he gonna set up righteous men. He gonna set up righteous men to help lead over the right people, help lead the people, help feed them, right? And they won't have to worry no more. Right? They won't have to be fearing and fear no more. Right? Just like in the days of old. Right? You had men that and it was over our people. They were wicked leaders. Right? When you read Micah, the 3rd chapter, right? When you read you have false prophets in Jeremiah, right? It's always been wicked leaders, even today, right? Even in the time of YAHAWAH. Right? You had a lot of Pharisees that was wicked. You had a lot of men that was evil. Right? So the Lord said he's gonna set up shepherds. A shepherd is somebody that's leading the sheep. Right? They leading the sheep the right way where they're supposed to go. YAHAWAH is a shepherd. Right? The elect men, those are shepherds. Because they're leading the sheep the right way. Right? Without any doubt. Right? But keep reading. I mean, brothers got it.
I got a precept in Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 18.
You said what?
Ecclesiastes verse. Can you hear me?
Yeah, come on.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 18. And it says, by much slothfulness the building by much slothfulness the building decayeth, and through idleness of the hands the house droppeth through. Right? So like the brother was saying, if we're supposed to be the shepherds of the people, supposed to be the leaders of the people, we don't get off days. You know what I'm saying? Or off weeks, or it's really no vacation from the truth. You know what I'm saying? I mean, every day is something more that you could be doing, and it's something that you're doing that you could be doing less of, right? But you can't be idle and just sitting around kind of waiting on it to fall out of waiting on the Lord to come sit on the end of your bed like a brother in the camp be saying sometimes and tell you what to do, because things don't work that way. We have to, a shepherd can't just sit around while the sheep is all over the place. They got a job to do. You know what I'm saying? Whether you tired, whether you had a bad day, whether you feeling kind of sick or whatever. Hey, by much slothfulness, the building decayed. This building ain't gonna stop deteriorating just because you can't get around to it today, or you might be a little too busy, you might be a little too tired. You got to really understand what it takes to do the will of the Lord. It was never meant to be something that, I do it just on camp day and then that's it. I get the rest for the other 6 days. But with that, I yield.
You got a precept, Sam?
What he was saying. I'm gonna bring up Proverbs chapter 6. I start at verse 4. But it said, give not.
Proverbs 4?
Proverbs 6. So,
Proverbs 6. Your mic just keep going in and out. I can't really hear you.
Yeah, y'all's doing that too a little bit. Well, yours doing that a little bit. Proverbs chapter 6, verse 4. It says, give not sleep to thine eyes, nor slumber to thine eyelids. Like I was reading too, like a shepherd not supposed to be, lawful in doing the will of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? We got to make sure that we bring the sheep, feeding the sheep. Can't be slothful doing the work of the Lord. Doors, right? It says, deliver thyself as a roe from the hand of the hunter, and as a bird from the hand of the fowler. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise. Right? And the Lord said, go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her. So as a shepherd, you should be, or as a teacher, you should be considered the ways, of an ant, because they never get tired. I never seen an ant just stop getting food, but like, hey, look, I'm tired. I don't want to deal with this no more. We've been grinding this food for the past 3 hours. They never get tired, right? 7, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler. and they don't have nobody guiding them, but they know to continue to, gather for the season when it's due. And as us Israelites, we should be able to make sure we feeding our people, right? Keeping the commandments, right? Teaching ourselves first and foremost, and not just going out there and just teaching other folks when we don't have it all to ourselves. Right? Verse 8, provide meat in the summer, gather food in the harvest. Right? How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? So how long will you sleep if you being sluggard? Just let you be known, but you got.
Right, I got a quick precept. Right, I got a quick precept going into sleep as well. This is Psalms chapter 132 and verse number 3. Yeah, because you got wicked leaders every day, man. You got wicked men leading their households. You got wicked men leading congregations. Right, you've always had wicked men leading over people that people looked up. Right, they might be a man of renown, right? But they might be evil. They might be leading the sheep astray. They might not be doing the will of the Father. Right? This is Psalms chapter 132 and verse number 4. It says, I will not give sleep to mine eyes or slumber to mine eyelids until I found out a place for the Lord and a habitation for the mighty God of Jacob. Right? So, hey, even through your afflictions, right? Whatever it is, your damn infirmities, right? You want to always be doing the will of the Most High. Right? You don't want to never give sleep to your eyelids. Not literally, right? But meaning fall asleep spiritually, and then you start to lose oil. Damn, fall away from the Most High. Right, because you was sleeping and the Most High came and required His Spirit from you, right? Because you wasn't doing something that you had to do. Right? You need to find out a place for the Lord. Right? You need to build the temple. Right, the temple of the Most High is the nation of Israel. Right, you gotta lead the sheep into His truth. Don't fall back to sleep. Right, but I'm gonna go back to Matthew chapter 7. This is Matthew chapter 7 and verse number 22. It says, many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works. And this is how you know it's talking about people in the truth. This is how you know it's not talking about Christians. This is how you know it's not talking about any other person but a man that's in this truth. Right? Because we prophesy in the name of YAHAWAH. We tell them World War III is on the rise. We talk about the curses. We talk about what's going to happen, what came to pass and what's going to come to pass. We cast out devils, right? You damn get unclean spirits up. You get lust demons off of people, drug demons off of people, slothful demons, hatred demons, damn adulterous demons, right? You get all kinds of demons off these people through the name of YAHAWAH. And those are wonderful works, right? Those are miracles. Those are today's miracles. Right, being able to help a brother throw away his blunt and stop smoking forever, hey, that's a miracle. Because, hey, Christian can't do that. They're putting weed into the church and saying, hey, that's going to bring the younger generation to God. Right, so this is how you know it's talking about Israel. So this is why you got to do the will of the Most High. Right, because you don't want to be caught up in that day saying, Lord, I did this, I did that, I did this mighty work, I did that mighty work. What's wrong? What did I do wrong? Why can't I get the kingdom? Why can't I enter in? Right? Why am I not getting this? Why do I feel like I deserve it? I've done this and that. Right? It's a reason why you're not getting that. Right? Let's go to the book of. If I got a precept, I'll hold out real quick.
I was waiting on you to finish.
Yeah, I was finished.
Just let me know. I got a precept real quick. Right, this is 1 John chapter 4 and verse number 1. Right? It says, beloved, believe not every spirit, but try spirits, whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. Right? Because you got men that's like that. Right? They doing this miracle, they doing that miracle. Right? But it's all vanity. Right? They might be a false prophet back in the world. Right? That's why you gotta try spirits. You can't just believe everybody. You can't just follow after everybody. Because you're gonna have men that's leading men astray. Or you got men that's leading people straight into destruction, right? As a sheep into the slaughter, right? I forgot that precept, right? But you have men of old doing that. So what make you think you don't have men doing that now? Right? They might be doing this work and that work, breaking down Deuteronomy 28, breaking down Revelation 13, breaking down Revelation 20, right? But you got to try the spirits. Right? You got to see if they truly righteous. Right? Don't just follow after everybody. Is hereby know ye the spirit of Yahweh. Every spirit that confesseth that Yahweh Shai Mashiach is come in the flesh is of Yahweh. Right? So this is how you know that that you have the spirit of the Most High. Right? Every spirit that confesseth Yahweh Shai Mashiach is come. And this isn't confessing with just your mouth. Right? This is confessing with your works. By the works that you do, that's how you confess that the Lord is come in the flesh. That's how you know that you're truly in the spirit, that you truly in this truth. Is with the works that you do. Right? If you do anything against this truth, hey, you're antichrist. You're evil. You're of the world, right? So you confess by the righteous works you do, the fruit that you bring forth, the increase that you bring to this truth, the seeds that you plant, right? Let's keep reading. It says, and every spirit that confesseth not that Yahweh Shai Mashiach is come in the flesh is not of God. Right? And they do this by not doing the works of the Lord. They do this by being hypocrites. Damn, leading the people astray. Damn, giving wicked counsel. Damn, not giving counsel, not giving alms. Right? Looking down upon their people. Right? You doing that, hey, you confessing that the Lord didn't come in the flesh. Right? And that makes you, it says, and this is that spirit of Antichrist, whereof ye have heard that it should come, even now already is it in the world. Right? So you got a lot of men, right? You just had Ryan Garcia, right? He just said Elon Musk is the Antichrist. Antichrist. Joe Biden is the Antichrist. Donald Trump is no, the Antichrist is the man that's not doing the will of the Most High God. That's not doing the works of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. That is the Antichrist. That's the man that's against the Most High and his son Yahweh Shai. Right? And it says, and even now already is it in the world. So the Antichrist is already in the world. It's all those wicked men in the world. It's all these wicked Israelites in the truth. Those are the Antichrists. Those adulterers, those faithless people, those evildoers are the Antichrist. Right? It says, ye are of God, little children, and have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Right? And if you're of God, right, meaning you confess Yahweh Shai, when you do these works, right, you overcame that spirit, right? Because the spirit that's in you is greater than the spirit of the world. You just got to truly believe. You got to truly have the faith and put forth your effort to do these works day in and day out, right? It says, they are of the world, therefore speak they of the world, and the world heareth them. We are of God. He that knoweth Yahweh heareth us. He that is not of Yahweh heareth not us. Hereby know we the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. All right, come, brother Scotty.
I want to get this one precept. It was one of the first ones I ever learned when I came into the truth, right? It's Ecclesiasticus chapter 6 and verse number 36.
Hold on. So you said Sirach 36 and 6.
Sirach 6 and 36.
Yeah.
All right, Khan says, and if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him, and let thy foot wear the steps of his door, right? So plainly put, you have to be following after somebody's example, right? Because there's somebody who's been in the truth longer than you. Or even if they haven't been in the truth longer than you, they might have more knowledge than you. They might have more faith, more discipline. They might be better with counsel. You might not be the best at making decisions right now, but it might be a brother in your camp Or for the sisters, it might be a sister in your camp who can really pick up where you slack at, right? But we got to be willing to lean on somebody who is a man of understanding, right? It says to wear the steps of his door, right? You got to almost get on this man's nerves. Hey, what does this breakdown mean? You know, what is this? I can't really understand why they use this word in this verse. Why would, you know, you got to really make this thing, you got to be annoying in the truth, for lack of better terms. Like, what's wrong with praying one more time? You know what I'm saying? Or asking one more question on the council, or getting a little bit more clarification on that breakdown. Even though you've been through it 3 times, why not go through it 4? Right? I'm gonna read this again. And if thou seest a man of understanding, right? You see somebody who, man, that brother got a mighty spirit on him. I think that he could teach me some things. This is a brother I can follow after. This is somebody I wouldn't mind getting under their wing and learning from. Right? It says, get thee betimes unto him and let thy foot wear the steps of his door. You gotta be wearing this. You can't stop. You know, certain days, like I say all the time, certain days you ain't gonna feel like it. You can't stop because hey, you're not gonna be in the spirit all the time. You know, but hey, the Most High watching you all the time. So what you gonna do? But with that, I
I wanna go back to Matthew chapter 7. You can start at verse 3. But I mean, that's why you gotta uh, know a brother's fruit. You know what I'm saying? Don't take heed to everything what people say, but you never know what they could be doing. They could be throwing you off, right? It could be Satan dwelling in them. That's why you have to prove all spirits. Matthew chapter 7 and verse 3. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye? And ultimately, too, if you're not doing the work of the Lord, and the Lord is in, I don't want to go right to it, but the Lord, you want to say, Lord, 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 and the Lord really not listening to you. I mean, it's because you was never sincere. So you got all this knowledge and you shaking the hand at other folks, you be even giving counsel, but you're not even taking your own counsel behind closed doors. You're not considering the beam that is in your eye, right? Verse 4. Oh, how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me put out the mote out of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own eye. So you got to telling a brother to, you shouldn't be thinking about murdering your brother, or I mean, where your friend is at. But behind closed doors, you be heading to the mall, going shopping, and without your fringes, right? But you're not considering, what you doing, but you considering everybody else. You making sure the sheep is in check, but the shepherd is not in check. That's kind of backwards, right? Verse 5, it says, "Thou hypocrite, first cast out beam out of thine own eye, right? And then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye." But and the crazy thing about it is, you cast out that beam out of that brother's eye without even doing that to yourself, because you had that glory and you actually didn't believe this thing. You really didn't believe YAHAWAH Bashem Yahushua. All you was just to praise man. You just want the praises of man, right? Let me get Galatians chapter 1 verse 10. All you want to do was just praise man. You wasn't in this thing sincerely. You're not really thinking about having YAHAWAH Bashem to come back and save us. You just want the riches and the fame and the glory. It's Galatians chapter 1 verse 10. But do I now persuade men or God? Or do I seek to please men? For if I yet please men, I shall not be the servant of a Mashiach. And no, I'm pretty sure nobody don't want that day to come. When the Lord words to you. Because when you do the will of the Lord, you're not here to please men. You're here to please YAHAWAH Bashem Yahushua. And you're not here to please yourself as well, because it's not about us. Everything is about the Most High. So this is why you have to prove don't believe every spirits, man, because they're out here trying to overthrow you, and they not even really doing the work of the Lord. Now you got a spirit on you. Now you doing things what they do behind closed doors, right? Brothers got it.
Right. And Yahushua, right? He was that good shepherd, man. Right. Let's go to that account, right? In John. Right. Yahushua was the good shepherd. Right. He led the people. Right. He's gonna come back and lead the people. Right. To the kingdom. Right. We're gonna start at I'm gonna start at verse 7. I'm gonna start at verse 6. It's John 10:6. It says, "This parable spake Yahushua unto them, but they understood not what things they were which he spake unto them. Then said Yahushua unto them again, Verily I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. The Lord is the door of the sheep." Meaning the sheep, you open, he's that door, right? You enter in. The sheep enter into that door, right? Meaning you come into the truth and you can come into Yahushua, right? It says, "All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear him," right? It says, "I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out and find pasture." Right. So if you go into this door, right, see how it's shy, right? You stay there and you're doing the right things to be in there. You're not being evil. You're not being a robber and a thief. Right? You're gonna be saved. Right? You're gonna be saved out of this world. You're gonna be saved from the things to come. Right? You're gonna be saved from your sins. Right? And it says, "The thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy." The thief is the wicked man, the evil man, right? He ain't got no good intentions with this truth. He just coming in and do all sorts of evil and wickedness, right? It says, "I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. I am the good shepherd. The shepherd giveth his life for the sheep." And that's how you know Yahushua is he's the mightiest man ever to walk the earth. He gave his life for the sheep. That's what a good shepherd does. Right. And if you want to be a good shepherd, you got to be willing to lay down your life for your friends. Right. When you read John the 15th chapter and the 13th verse. Right. You got to be willing to give your life up for the sheep. Right. Whether you got to die for a brother, or you got to die for a sister, whether you got to die out there teaching the word, or you got to give your life right for this truth. I mean, hey, also you got to be willing to give up certain things that you used to do in the world. Right? Certain pleasures, certain different, let's just put it like that, pleasures, right? Certain pleasures and things you wanted to do, or you got to give it up for the sheep, making your body a living sacrifice, meaning you serving the Lord at all times. Are you giving up your old life to serve the Most High and serve your people, right? That's your new life, right? That's what it means to be a good shepherd. That's what Yahushua did, right? He was always doing the work. He was always enduring. So that's what we got to do. Always do the work and always enduring. Right? It says, "But he that is an hireling and not a shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming and leaveth the sheep and fleeth. And the wolf catcheth them and scattereth the sheep." Right? Don't be that wicked man. Don't be that kind of man that he's supposed to be a shepherd, right? But he sees the wolf coming, right? He sees the wickedness and the evil coming to our people. He sees Satan coming to destroy our people, the so-called white man, right? All these different nations, all these different doctrines. You see World War III popping off, the famine. You see all these things coming, right? And you leave the sheep. I mean, you're not helping lead them. You don't love your people. You don't love the sheep, right? It says, "Leaveth the sheep and flee." Meaning you in it for yourself. You making sure yourself good, but you're not giving your life for the sheep. Right? Yahushua didn't do that. He gave his life for the sheep. It says, "And the wolf catcheth them and scattered the sheep. The hireling fleeth because he is an hireling and careth not for the sheep." Don't care for your people. Right? It says, "I am the good shepherd and know my sheep and am known of mine. As the Father knoweth me, even so know I the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep." And the Most High knows Yahushua. Right? He knows the good shepherd because of the works that Yahushua did. Yahushua, all his works were of the Father. Right? Like he said in Matthew 7. Right? Let me read that real quick in verse Matthew 7 again. In verse 22. Right? It says, "Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven." And that's why the Father knows Yahushua, because he's doing the will of the Most High. So you got to make yourself likewise with Christ, like-minded with Christ, of the Father, right? And lay down your life for the sheep. It says, "In other sheep I have, which are not of this fold, them also must I bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd." Right? But brothers got it.
I want the I was in Matthew chapter 7. I just want to jump up to verse number 7. You know, chapter 7, it's a real heavy chapter. It's going into some real good things. Right? But this is just something simple that a lot of times can be overlooked. Right? It's Matthew chapter 7 and verse number 7. Wait till you get
On there.
It's Matthew chapter 7 and verse 7. Ask and it shall be given you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth. And to him that knocketh it shall be open. Right? So don't be afraid to ask the Most High, "Hey, Lord, I need a little bit more faith." Or, you know what I'm saying, "Lord, I'm feeling kind of weak. Hey, I need you to strengthen me to get through this day." You know, I've done that before, where it just been, the day just been beating me up so bad, I just had to throw a prayer up, like, "Hey, just please, just, man, whether you got to speed the day up, you got to kind of, you know what I'm saying, put me in focus mode or whatever got to happen." You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to ask for the smallest thing from the Most High, because it might be small to you, but he might appreciate the fact that you even asked for it, right? And I'm going to continue on to prove that. Or what man is there of you whom if his son asks bread will he give him a stone? You know, so if you ask the Most High, "Hey, Lord, YAHAWAH, please give me faith," why would he give you okay, now you more confident at work or something like that, right? You know what I'm saying? Why would he give you something that you didn't ask for? You didn't ask to be more confident at work, you asked for more faith in the Most High. So if you ask that with sincerity, why wouldn't he give it to you? Right? Or if he asks a fish, will he give him a serpent? You know, if you ask for faith, will the Most High take your faith completely away from you? If you came with humbleness and sincerity to ask for more? No. So you can't get too far along in the truth, or you forget the simple things, like just asking for the things that you desire, asking for the things you lack, asking for the Most High to even get rid of the things that you have in too much of abundance. Well, with that, I yield.
James chapter 1 verse 5. Because that's right. Because if you can't ask, and because he's not gonna hand it to you. I mean, he's not gonna give it to you if you know what I'm saying, don't have that faith in that prayer that he hears your prayers, right? James chapter 1 verse 5. Yeah, you there? Come. Right, it says, "If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God that give it to all men liberally." Right? Just like the brother was reading. I mean, you being humble before the Most High, you being sincere, you want your faith increase, he's gonna hand it to you. I mean, why would he give you a serpent? Right? If you want some salmon, why would he give you some catfish? I mean, it don't make sense, right? And upbraid of not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea driven with the wind and tossed. And you don't want to be that man that's wavering, praying to the Most High, right? Because you're not going to get anything. He going to let you know, right? Read on down. Salakia, no, that's it. No, Salakia, verse 7, Salakia. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. So let not that man think he should receive anything, right? The brother's got it.
I got a quick point real quick before I give it up to brothers. All right, this is I'm gonna just go to Psalms 82 real quick just to make a quick point, real quick. All right. This is Psalms chapter 82 and verse number 6. It says, "I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High." Right? And everybody loved this precept. Right? Brothers always want to pull this precept and say, "Hey, we gods on the earth." Right? We gods, we kings, we this, we that. Right? But a righteous judge, or a God, if you want to say, or a righteous king, right? He's not gonna leave his people. He's not gonna do any evil works behind closed doors. He's not gonna lead his people astray from the Most High. Right? Everything they gonna do is for their people. Right? They're not just gonna forsake their people and be one of those hirelings when you read John the 10th verse. They just leave when they see the wolf coming, when they know the wolf coming. Right? God is gonna lead his people the way Joshua did. Right? Joshua led his people into that kingdom. Right? Moses had to go. Right? Aaron had to go. So Moses, right? I mean, so Joshua, right? He led the people into the kingdom. Right? That's how you got to think. You got to lead your people in this fight. Right? That's what a God is gonna do. That's what a judge is gonna do. Right? And that's got to be your mindset. Right? Because that's not your mindset. I mean, you just finished. All right, I must go up. Right, it says, verse 1, it says, Yahweh standeth in the congregation of the mighty, he judgeth among the gods. How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked, defend the poor and fatherless, do justice to the afflicted and needy, deliver the poor and needy, rid them out of the hand of the wicked? And that's what you're supposed to do. Right, but you had, right, when you read through all these accounts, right, of the prophets, or you had wicked, unjust leaders that was delivering the innocent up. I mean, they delivered YAHAWAH up. He was an innocent man. Right? He was always doing this to our people. Right? And it says, they know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. Right? And I want to go to a quick precept in 1 Peter. This is 1 Peter. I'm gonna start at verse 5 and 1. It says, the elders which are among you I exhort, who am also an elder and a witness of the sufferings of Hamashiach, and also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed. Right. So this, this is Paul's, right, speaking to the the elders, right, of the churches, right, the leaders of the people. Right. It says, right. Right, it says, feed the flock of YAHAWAH, which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. Right, and that's what you got to be. That's got to be mindset, right, when you leading your people, right? Because people look up to you, right? People see your fringe and they like, oh, that's an Israelite. Dang, I've been waiting to run into one of them and just ask them a few questions. Right, but you got men that turn men away. They'll get straight to rebuking brothers just because they don't understand John 3:16, or just because they don't understand the baptism, or just because they're not ready to give up pork. They'll rebuke people instead of working with them and feeding them with what they need to be fed. Right, but it says you got to do this willingly, so it's got to be on your mind to willingly do the will of the Most High. Right, it says neither as being lords over God's heritages, but being in samples to the flock. And that means being an example. You need to be a righteous example unto the flock, unto the sheep. Right? Because those people in the world, they're looking for a shepherd. They're looking to be led. They're looking to be led righteous. Right? And that's what they got when they had YAHAWAH. Right? It says, and when the chief shepherd shall appear, he shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away. And the chief shepherd is YAHAWAH. Right? But I yield with that, Brother Scott.
Brother got a precept?
I
can hop in. You said what? You got one? I can hop in there. I'm gonna go to Romans the 7th chapter. Romans chapter 7. I'm gonna start at verse 9. Right? Because we're talking about being a doer of the law. Right? Now there's a thing on just kind of knowing the Bible, knowing the scriptures, knowing a couple of precepts, right? But being a doer of God's will, right? A doer of the word of the Lord, man. A doer of the word of the Most High. It's so much different than somebody that just reads scriptures on a daily, right? Romans chapter 7 and verse 9, it says, for I was alive without the law once, but when the commandment came, sin revived and I died, right? In the world, brothers ever wanted a cigarette? Or you ever wanted some weed? Or you ever crave It was something that you desired that if you didn't have it, it felt like death. That's what the truth feels like, man. Right? The truth, even though it's the most freeing thing ever, man, from the desires that you craved after, for the things that you lust for on a daily. I mean, that woman that you just can't stop thinking about. That man that you knew you shouldn't be messing with no more. Right? That woman you know is put away, but you want her because you had her rib tips at one of the feast days, man. Right? It says, "For I was alive without the law once, but when the commandment came, sin revived and I died," man. Right? To follow after the laws of the Most High in the beginning feels like death. I wish I had my apocrypha. It's a precept that I want to direct the 4th chapter. Right?
Okay.
It's about wisdom's bonds. Might be the 6th chapter. Wisdom's bonds, her chains on her fetters. Right? They feel horrible. Right? It says, "For I was alive without the law once, but when the commandment came, sin revived and I died." Right? Because once you understood the will of the Most High, right? It says, I'm going to break it down again from the top. "For I was alive without the law once," meaning that when you were out living the life that you wanted to on a daily, you know how it felt? It felt like you were alive. Speeding, hanging out the window, smoke whenever you want, listening to Nicki Minaj feels alive. Drinking at 10 o'clock, no, not 10, 7 o'clock in the morning feels amazing. It makes you feel alive. Being high, sleeping with whoever you want to, lying, hate it, my God. Brothers, remember how good it felt to hate somebody? It felt amazing to hate somebody. But then you learned the law. Then the Spirit of God entered into you, and it felt like death. You can no longer hate that person anymore. You can't hold grudges. Grudges used to feel great. Am I lying out? Grudges used to feel amazing. But you can't hold grudges anymore. You can't drink whenever you want to. You can't have sex with whoever you want to. You can't lay down with white women or other men. You can't have sex with men. You can't rape anymore. You can't molest children. Once the Lord put that law into your heart, and once you understood what the Lord didn't want you to do, it felt like death. There was a pain that came with it. It hurt, right? It said, "But when the commandment came, sin revived and I died." You ever notice that you don't want something until you're not supposed to have it? You don't crave after something until you're told no. It's like a child. Like anytime you tell a child like to share their toys, they now all of a sudden want the toy. And it's like a crazy reverse psychology thing. It's called sin, right? Once that sin revived, then everything starts to feel like death again. You'll start to crave after certain things. You'll start to desire certain things. But you have to stick to your morals. Your morals, meaning the word that the Lord gave you. You no longer have the choice over what you decide, man. You don't have the choice over who you sleep with, what you drink, what you eat, right? Everything you do is decided by God, right? Verse 10, it says, "And then the commandment, which was ordained unto life, I found to be unto death." All right, real fast, brothers, give me a law. Any law, just give me a law.
Prostituting your daughter.
Huh?
Prostituting your daughter.
Go to that one. Go to prostituting thy daughter, right? Right? When it comes down to prostituting thy daughter, right, it's a thing in the law called a dowry. That's called the dowry, right? Not even just the dowry, right? It could be, what do women prostitute their children for now? Any damn thing to get the rent paid, right? Because the man that they sleeping with don't want to sleep with them no more, but she wants to sleep with her child. He wants to sleep with her daughter. So you know what that mother's going to do? Instead of fighting for that child and trying to protect that child, she is going to allow her boyfriend to sleep with her daughter. Well, now this woman is in the truth. Now this woman is in the truth and she believes in God. You know what she can no longer do? She can no longer allow that man to molest her daughter and she is not going to have the money for her rent. Her lights are going to be off. She is not going to have any food in her refrigerator, and it's going to feel like death. However, it says, in the commandment which was ordained unto life, I found to be unto death. Now you can no longer hurt your daughter for your increase. And that feels like death to you. It feels horrible. However, it is giving you life. Not only you, but you know who is giving life? Your daughter. Now she doesn't have to be hurt anymore. She doesn't have to have nightmares about some man that you allowed to creep in her room while you pretended to be asleep or turned up the TV so that you didn't have to hear what was going on in there, man. Right? You found it unto death. Right? Verse 11. It says, for sin, taking occasion by the commandment, deceived me, and by it slew me. Right? Taking occasion by the commandment, meaning that you understood the law. You understood that what you were doing was wrong. However, it felt what? It felt great. It felt amazing. It made you feel alive. And it says that it deceived you because it felt so great, but it was actually for your death. It was unto your destruction. It absolutely destroyed you. Right? It says, verse, where am I at? 12. It says, wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment is holy and just and good. That's what the word spirit means. If you ever look for the definition of what the spirit is, right, or being spiritual, this is the definition of this verse right here. It says the law is holy and the commandment is holy and just and good. The way that the spirit works, the spirit doesn't work like carnality, right? Your carnal, your flesh wants money. It wants pornography. It wants orgasms and to be high and drunk and to lie and hate. That's what your flesh wants, man. Right? But your spirit wants good because it's good. Your flesh wants deathly things or worldly things because it likes the way that it feels. It feels good. But the spirit desires good just because it's good. Right? I'm going to read on. It says, was then that which was made, that which is good made death unto me? God forbid. But sin, that it might appear sin. The only, you know why the Lord said that you shouldn't smoke crack? Have you ever seen a crackhead? That's why the Lord said that you shouldn't smoke crack. You know why the Lord said that you shouldn't eat pork? Have you seen brothers with diabetes and high blood pressure? That is why the Lord said that you shouldn't eat pork, right? The reason that the Lord, I know so many people that have had to get their toes chopped off, right? Because they couldn't stop drinking, right? I mean, we can just go on Instagram and we can see what's the problem with being a whore. We can see it, right? It says, God forbid, but sin that it might appear sin, right? You'll fall for these things. Like a woman will grow up being a whore so that you can now understand why you shouldn't be a whore. Am I making sense? It says, was then that which made good made death unto me, God forbid. But sin that it might appear sin, working death in me by that which is good. Meaning that sin manifesting itself as sin, right? Shalakia, is working death in you, meaning that you're feeling unalived while you're feeling this thing. It's painful, it hurts. It's like a thorn in your flesh, right? And it says that might be shown, Shalakia, by that which is good. Meaning that the law is the only thing that shows you why smoking is wrong. Anything that is wrong, the Bible says is wrong, right? However, unless you fall for it, or unless you crave after it. Like nobody ever craves after giving alms or doing charity or what's something righteous?
Forgiveness.
Come on. You ever been to church? Have you ever been to church? Right? The sisters at the front of the church with the huge hats, they're the most unforgiving of them all. They're the most judgmental of them all. Right? They'll look at another sister and they'll hate her for something simple, like her coming to the front to get prayed on. She just want attention. She just want to be seen. But then when it comes to them, what do they say? Oh, God knows my heart. The Lord knows my mistakes. He knows I'm trying. Is it making sense? It says, was that then which was made good death unto me? Right? Meaning that this thing that's supposed to be good, why does it hurt so bad? Right? Not doing whatever the hell I want to, why does it hurt so bad? But it says, God forbid, but sin that it might appear sin, right? Working death in me by that which is good. The law is the word of God is why you're in pain. It's because you have morals. It's because you have integrity. It's working death in you because you refuse to do that which is wrong, right? Because the world wants you to be a whore. That's what the world wants. The world wants you to get high. You know that Future doesn't actually do drugs? Future doesn't do drugs, but he makes songs about doing drugs, right? Being a homosexual. This entire world promotes homosexuality, right? Governors and presidents pass bills that allow two homosexuals to be married. Then you go on TV, and then Barney, Baby Bob, every kid's show now has a gay couple. I mean, how can you not be gay? The world wants you to be gay, right? Everything that you're seeing on a daily basis is saying that you should be gay and that a sister should be a whore. However, there is something that God wants that you respect. The Lord desires a certain man or woman of you that the rest of this world does not, right? And to follow after what the Lord wants feels like death. But that's just that which is good, rotting sin in you, right? If I read it correctly, Shalaki. It says, and that by sin, that sin by the commandment might become exceedingly sinful. Because then you'll realize how evil it actually, once you, it's like being in love with somebody. Once you done sent all of them long ass text messages and you done went crazy and you done busted windows, you sit back and think, damn, I shouldn't have acted like that. I shouldn't have wanted him. I am so much better than that. That's what the law was supposed to show you. That's what the scriptures, the word of the Lord, is supposed to show you. It says, for we know that the law is spiritual, meaning that the law wants that which is good because it's good. The law wants righteousness because it's beneficial. It says, but I am carnal, sold under sin. Right? You want what feels good because you're carnal. It's physical. You want physical benefit, while the spirit just wants the benefit of that which is good. To be sold under sin means to be a slave of sin, being sold unto something. It owns you. That alcohol owns you. That woman that you can't get over owns you. That sin, that crime against God, owns you. Right? It says, I'm gonna let brothers hop in there before I keep going. I don't want to take up too much time. Brothers, guys.
You can finish up if you want to.
I'll go back to it. Verse 15. It says, for that which I do, I allow not. Meaning that there are things that you do that you don't want to do. You ever, you might fall for something, and then you afterwards, you like, damn, I ain't even want to do that. I ain't even want to act like that. Next thing you know, you 16 tabs deep into some new porn site. They come up with new porn sites every 3 days. I mean, if you want a successful business, just run a porn site. Because there are so many new porn sites every single day. They've made so many porn sites that they just either they're random letters or they name them after animals now. Because people just want porn. They don't care what it's called, man. They don't care what it's called. But after you are 16 tabs in, you realize I didn't even want to do that. After you 3/4 of the way through with the blunt, you're like, man, I ain't even really want to smoke that. You don't want to be an alcoholic or a thot. People still saying that. They still saying thot. Yeah. You didn't want to be a thot, but you just couldn't help it. It's because you're carnal. You're sold unto sin, right? The thing that you would do, you don't allow yourself to do it, right? It says, for that, what I would, that I do not. You desire to do the right thing. You desire to not spend all of your money. That's not a sin, but you're stupid because of it, right? You desire every time, you ever know that brother that every time you go around him, he got a new bottle of alcohol that he's trying out? Every 2 days, a new type of tequila. We got brothers like that in here. They need constant counsel. Constant counsel. I mean, my God. We got brothers. I'm convinced that brothers have their passport just to go to Mexico to get the new tequila. Because when you read the back of the bottle, ain't none of the ingredients even in English. Not even in English, right? They don't want to be an alcoholic. They don't allow themselves to be an alcoholic. They want to not drink. But they don't. They don't not drink. You don't not smoke. You don't not sleep with whoever it is that you want to sleep with, man. Right? But it says, but it says, but what I hate, that I do. Right? This is talking about addiction. This is Paul's counsel on addiction and on how to overcome addiction, right? And how to identify if you are an addict, right? If there is something that you hate doing, but you keep doing it, like overeating, right? Like what's, I don't know, being a witch. What's new is the latest sin? I don't think people doing, is they still doing the Sagittarius thing?
Yeah.
I don't even think that deserves a breakdown. What's the newest sin? I can't think of the newest sin, man. That's just gotten so popular.
Delta 8.
Delta 8, man. Right, back in the gap, man, it was called K2. We called it Katie. Right? Legal marijuana. I couldn't even tell you what's in it. They said it was glass in it, insulation in it, but man, brothers was smoking it. And they hated how they felt. They hated it. But you know what they did? They smoked it. Every single day, faithfully, nonstop. I mean, it was more expensive than regular weed. It was more expensive than the Delta 8, Salakia. The Delta 8, not Delta 8, K2 back then, I think it was like $4. A bag of regular weed was $5. It was $1. $1. They hated smoking both of them. But you know what they did? They smoked it. It says but what I hate, that I do. You have an addiction. You have an addiction, right? It says, if then I do that which I would not, I consent unto the law that it is good. If you are constantly doing something that you hate doing, you're proving why the law was right when it says, thou shalt not do it. You're proving why it's right, man. Just be obedient unto the word of God, regardless of the pain. That's what the truth is. It says, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And ever promised it would feel good. Matter of fact, the truth hurts. That's a saying, man. That the truth hurts, but it will set you free. It says, now then, it is no more that I do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. Right? It's going into your addiction. This thing you can't get over. This thing you can't let go of. It's not even you doing it anymore. You're no longer in control. Brother, remember that movie, what's the movie about dude who was dating that white woman? He was dating a white woman. Get out. The sunken place. The sunken place. It's I don't know what this is, man. It's like an addiction. And you are addicted to white women. You see where it got. Don't be addicted to that which is wrong. Right? It says, now then it is no more that I do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. Right? I can break this whole chapter down. Brothers got it, man.
Brothers got a precept.
I want to get Sirach chapter 9 and verse number 12. Back on some of the brothers was saying. Chapter 9.
God.
And verse number 12. All right, it says, delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in, but remember they shall not go unpunished into their grave. Right? So like the brother was saying, being in this truth, it's gonna hurt. I mean, hey, I don't get to go to the club on Saturday. You know, I don't get to go and do my grocery shopping for the next week on a Saturday like everybody else do. You know, I get to sleep with anybody I want to. I don't get to eat anything I want to, right? But I had to remember that the people who do, they got a punishment coming for that. I have to remember that, hey, carnally it might seem that, hey, this is something that these sinners over here, I mean, hey, we done seen it before. We done seen people in the truth say, I should have stayed evil. We've literally said word for word, I should have stayed evil. Because when you be in the truth for so long, you try to be right for so long, and there's so much wickedness around you, you can't help but at least look. You know, you gonna notice it. But falling into it is a whole nother thing. Right, but with that I yield though. I just want to bring that precept up.
I got a point in Sirach 4. Points which I got two quick precepts and I'm done. All right. This is Sirach chapter 4 and verse 16. It's my favorite account in this chapter. All right, it says, in this entire book, right, it says, if a man commit himself unto her, he shall inherit her, and his generation shall hold her in possession. Right? It says, for at the first, she will walk with him by crooked ways and bring fear and dread upon him and torment him with her discipline until she may trust his soul and try him by her laws. And it's going, like what the brother Mike was teaching, not doing the things that you not doing the things that you don't want to do, right? Your flesh gonna hate that. Right, because you tormenting your flesh with all the discipline that you're doing by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, by being a doer of the word. Are you tormenting yourself with discipline? Right, that's a mighty thing to do. It says, for at the first you will walk by him with crooked ways and bring fear and dread upon him. Right, because you're gonna be fearing the Lord. You're gonna be fearing going off. Or you're not gonna want to sin. You're not gonna want to be in evil. Or you're not gonna want to, stray away from the word of the Most High. So you're going to torment yourself with discipline until she may trust him, until she may trust his soul and try him by her laws. Then will she return straightways unto him and comfort him and show him her secrets. And that's when you start to get increased. That's when you start to grow. That's when your strength to endure becomes stronger, right? Because you get an experience with these spirits and these demons, right? Whatever it is that you really love, your flesh really love doing, or you getting all this experience, right? Beating it and disciplining yourself, hey, the Lord gonna come and get you right and comfort you. Just the same way he did YAHAWAH, right? When YAHAWAH was getting beat down by these demons, right? He was overcoming him. The spirits came and the angels came and ministered unto him. Right? You got one, I think it's Matthew, I want to say 21, one of those chapters, or 26, one of those chapters, right? It said that the angels came and strengthened YAHAWAH. Right, but it says, observe the opportunity and beware of evil, and be not ashamed when it concerneth thy soul. Right, but this is the point that I want right here. It says, for there's a shame that bringeth sin, and there's a shame which is glory and grace. Right, because you got a shame, right? When you go off, you're gonna be feeling, damn, the Lord ain't dealing with me. Right, you're gonna keep going up. You're gonna keep going up. You're gonna keep doing that sin that's easily besetting you. Right, you're not doing the words of the will of the Most High, which is to overcome, right? Which is to fight, right? Which is to eschew evil and deny your flesh, right? It says, and there is a shame which is glory and grace, right? You got a shame that when you slip up, hey, you're gonna get back up on your feet, right? You're gonna do the will of the Most High. You're gonna do everything the Lord told you, right? It's gonna bring you glory and grace. It's gonna bring you. It's gonna bring you the kingdom. It's gonna bring you a great increase. It's gonna bring you an everlasting name, right? But I just want to grab this last quick precept and Acts, because brothers got one after me. Just going into the points that brothers is bringing out. Acts 28. Acts 28 and verse number 20. Right? It says, "For this cause, therefore, have I called for you to see you and to speak with you, because that for the hope of Israel I am bound with this chain." Right? For our people's sake, right? For the Lord's, right? We bound with a chain. We can't just go and do whatever we want to do. Right? We tormenting ourselves with this discipline and following after the word for our people, right? For the Most High. Right? Bound with fetters and chains, like the brother Mike referenced in Sirach the 6th chapter, where you got fetters and chains on you to stop yourself from doing what your flesh wants you to do. Your flesh wants you to go kick it at the damn Sexy Red concert and be a thought with your friends on a Saturday night, on a Saturday afternoon, right? But being bound with that chain is going to stop you from doing that. Same with a brother that want to smoke Delta 8 or K2. Knowing how, I don't know what it's gonna make you feel like, honestly, right? But I'm assuming if brothers constantly smoking, it's got to make them feel some kind of good, right? But you not smoking that K2 no more, right? Hey, you being bound with that chain, right? But brothers got it.
I got some. Speaking on that too, Sirach chapter 9, verse 5. Because I know brothers know that pleasure is pain. But like brothers that damn alcohol demon, you bottle, get drunk, and you know how you're gonna feel right after. In a moment, yeah, you drinking and feel good, but what happens right after that? Now you got a big migraine, right? You're throwing up, right? You know what I'm saying? You can't, even in the midst of you being drunk, you know, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. You lay down, and now it felt like you just rocking. You feel like a boat. The pleasures that they do in this world, they feel a pain, but in the moment it feels very good, right? Let's get Sirach chapter 19 and verse 5. It says, "Whoso taketh pleasure in wickedness shall be condemned, but he that resisteth pleasure counteth his life." So doing the will of the Lord is resist pleasure, right? When you resist pleasure, yeah, when you overcome it, it's a different type of feeling than when you take pleasure in wickedness, and now you feeling it's more painful to do the pleasures than to resist pleasure. It's way more painful than that. Because even when a brother he get, you know, he smoke, like the brother was saying with that I ain't know y'all call it that, but we be saying like K2. Because when they smoke it, yeah, they get bugged out. They eat the, but then they do it again, and they know how after it, right? They know the pleasure, but for some, they just take hold onto it, and they know how they feel about it, right? And we all know how it feels to fall short or whatever it is. But yeah, we may know, but what we pay attention to is how you feel once you do it. That's the only way to stop doing it. Not the only way, but that's one of the ways, because you know how you're gonna feel right after. Right? I got one more precept. Then we got because 6. They want to keep buying bottles. You want to go out to the club. You know, your flesh go out. Want to go out to eat on a Shabbat. We all know that family, they love to go out to eat on a Shabbat. On a Saturday morning. Eat breakfast on a Saturday morning. They just can't stop doing it. Got to fry bacon on a Saturday morning. Right? This is the book of Romans chapter 6 and verse 13. I start verse 12. "Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that ye bed in the lust thereof. Neither yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield yourselves unto YAHAWAH as those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto YAHAWAH." Right? So we should be yielding ourselves to the Most High. That's being a doer of the word, being a doer of the will of the Most High. Yielding yourself to righteousness, right? Don't be yielding yourself to unrighteousness. Because really, what's the point? Salakia. It was a point I wanted. Right, verse 16, Salakia. Jump down to verse 16. It says, know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, is servants ye are to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death, or of obedience unto righteousness. And you may have a brother that keep falling and falling and falling. Next thing you know, he may think like, okay, I'm gonna get back on my feet, and then next day he fall again. Brother, you just a servant. You can't blame Satan. You really just falling from your old man is just taking over you, man. Right? Your old man is just taking over you. You got everybody that like to blame Satan on everything. Brother just blame Satan. Man, I got my car. I shouldn't even, man, bro. I got my car taken. That was Satan. Brother, you parked in a handicap spot. You parked in a whole handicap spot. Right? The brothers got it.
I ain't got none.
I ain't got none.
With that, we'll give all honor, glory, and praise to YAHAWAH, Bashem YAHWAH Shai. Shalom.
Shalom.